Hello, and welcome to our ongoing desk work mobility series. Here today to do a little bit of opening through this front compartment of the arm. So you can do this sitting comfortably at your desk. Let's start by sitting up nice and tall. Stacking all of those vertebrae up on top of each other, even stretching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Let's pick up those shoulders and nice and slowly roll them down your back a few times. Really slow this movement down, exaggerate this movement. Notice what you feel. Just moving through this range of motion, helping to reset. We're only going to roll the shoulders backwards because most of us roll forward so much through the day. We don't really need to explore that range of motion anymore. Okay, good. And then from here, if you have the space, reaching your arms up wide. If you don't, you can keep your elbows tucked in, doing a little bit of a cactus arm, reaching up, and then exhale to reach back down. We'll do two more. Inhale, reach up, maybe even lift the breastbone, lift the chin. Exhale, spine comes back into alignment, hands come down. One more, this time I'll show with short hands. And exhale. Good. All right, let's take a nice deep bend at the elbows. If your desk is in the way, maybe rolling back a little bit. A nice big inhale, let's rotate our arms open. And exhale to come back into the midline. Inhale to rotate open. Exhale to come back into the midline. Want to make sure the chest stays stationary as you come forward. You want to avoid opening up. Want to keep that spine nice and stacked. And bringing in. So we're really just trying to feel those shoulder bones, that humerus rotate in the shoulder circuit. We'll do one more. Opening up. Good. And coming in. Okay. We'll do a little bit of a desk stretch here. So coming to reach behind you for your chair if you can. So my palm is going to face down. I want my elbow nice and straight, and I want to pull my chest to be pointing forward so my hand is behind me. Maybe feeling a bit of a pull through the front of the arm. As you can see, I'm very double jointed. You can see how my elbow dips down, so I don't have a lot of sensation in this stretch. But lots of folks, well, if you're sitting at a desk all day, you've got that bend happening, that shortening through the bicep at the front of the arm. So we're helping to counteract that a little bit. Good. Staying here, we're going to come the opposite way. So, my chair swivels. Same thing, palm faces down. I want to rotate so that the eye of the elbow is pointing down, and then I'm pulling my chest away. So I should be feeling that stretch up through the front of my arm. And again, some of this will depend on your joints. You can see I'm slightly less double jointed on this side, but that elbow still dips in, so not a ton of sensation. However, I will feel it a little bit up here in my attachment points as opposed to through the whole muscle belly. So there is still value in moving through the stretch. Good. Come on back. You can do this one either on the back of your chair or placing your hands on your desk. I'm going to just move my chair so you can see me a little bit better. So hands coming on my desk, eye of the elbows are pointing in towards each other. And I'll let my chest drop forward, bum pushes back. Think about squeezing your shoulders down and on your back. You can even push into your hands a little bit to create some resistance. Good. And then coming back up, we'll come back to take a seat. So just some exercises to help open up a little bit through the top of the arm. And now that we've moved through the top of the arm, let's also do a little bit for the base of the arm. So we'll move through some cars for our elbows. So for this, you need to be able to extend and shorten your hands. I'll start standing just so you can see the movement a little bit better. But you can do this seated at your desk. Take your thumb, pull it into the center of your hands, pull your fingertips over top. Let's start with our arms nice and straight, palms facing forward. And with slow motion, I want to imagine you're lifting something really heavy so that those biceps turn on. Turn your palms all the way out. And then slow motion, through resistance, like you're moving through molasses, we're going to extend the elbows long. Keep your palms facing behind you, bending through the elbows, slow motion, moving through that resistance. You want to feel the front of the muscles in the arm turning on. Flip your palms towards your body and extending the elbows long, moving through molasses. We'll do a couple more of those. Once your hands extend all the way along, bending at the elbow to come back. All the way up until the bicep is nice and tight, can't get any closer. Palms turn, extending all the way down, straightening out. And then from here, bending at the elbows, palms slowly pulling forward, back of the arms, back of the forearm moving to the front of the arm. Good, one more. Rotate and extend. Good. Shake it out. Same kind of deal, you can stay seated for this one. We'll bring our arms to 90 degrees at the elbow, making sure you have enough space. Palms face up like we're serving a platter. Inhale, keep those elbows tucked into the side body. So you can see the side kind of floated away on me. I want to tuck those in nice and strong. And then coming back into the center. Palms turn down, open wide. And back into the center. Palms turn up, open wide. And we're going to change our palms here. Come into the center. Keep our palms face down, open wide. Palms turn up. Coming back into the center. Good. Drop that. Shake it out. Let your arms come long. Might have noticed some tension coming back in through the front of the arm. It's also important to note that just because we have two arms doesn't mean they're going to feel the same, doesn't mean they're going to move the same, doesn't mean they're going to have the same range of motion. So as you do these exercises, you might notice as you open up that there's a difference. This is obviously exaggerated, but you might have a difference this big. And this really shows up in things where we have repetitive motion, like the desk work, right? You're usually mousing with one hand, also spending a lot of time in this kind of T-Rex position all day. So there's this shortening through these front compartments. So taking some time to stretch out through our elbows will be important. On that note, we can do this sitting or you can do it standing. Let's just do a little bit of forearm stretching. So allowing one hand to come long in front of you, palm up towards the ceiling. Let's pull those fingers back. So we're coming into nice long stretch. You want your elbow to be straight. Mine's a little bit bent just because otherwise it locks out and we really don't want to push into the joint. So if you're really double jointed like me, you want a tiny micro bend so that it looks visually flat, but enough that you still can feel a little bit of sensation through the front of the body. All right, let's release this side. Turn your palm to face down, bending at the wrist and gently pulling on your fingers. Same kind of thing here. The eye of the elbow should be turned in towards the midline of the body. So if you're very double jointed like me, if you watch this space here, this is my natural range of motion. I want to bend into my elbow so that the eye of the elbow is pointing in towards the midline of my body. And you should be feeling this up this back compartment of your arm. Good. Release that, shake it out, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So other arm extends long, palm up towards the ceiling to start. Dropping the fingers down, we'll gently apply an overpressure on the other side. And I'm wanting to make sure that I have this nice flat 180 happening here. Again, if you're double jointed, you're going to bring the tiniest bend in just to make sure that we're not locking out our joints and putting added pressure on those joint spaces. And just notice what you feel here. May or may not feel something in through the front of the forearm. Might feel very different than the other side. Again, that right to left difference that really gets exaggerated. All right, and release. We're going to flip our palm down. Bending at the wrist once again. Maybe moving your watch up out of the way. Straightening the arm. Again, check to see if you have this double jointed movement. We want to pull the eye of the elbow in towards the center. You might notice that changes the experience of the stretch or which muscles you feel it in. Again, it's always about protecting those joints. Just noticing what we feel here on the second side. a stretch. We'll let it release. Shake it out a little bit. Good. And then let's maybe do some of those arm movements that we did at the beginning. If you have the space to extend the arms, it's nice to use this full range of motion, but if you can't, elbows in at the side works great too. So sitting up nice and tall, stack the spine. Nice big inhale, reach all the way tall, up overhead as you fill the lungs. And then exhale, hands come down, moving through that range of motion. Nice. One more inhale all the way up. And exhale all the way down. Good. We're going to do one last motion for the elbows. I'm going to stand up so that you can see me. You need enough space. You can do this seated, but you do need enough space that you can reach your hand behind you. So if you're sitting on your desk chair, maybe just shuffle your bum forward a little bit so that you can have that space. May not work if your chair has armrests. You'll have to play with it. So let's start with our right arm. We're going to take our thumb into the midline, make that little fist, extending our arm nice and long. And we want to feel activation through the front of the body. So palms facing forward. We're going to inhale, come all the way up, trying to bring the front surfaces of the arm together. Exhale, we're going to, in slow motion and against tension, so feel the front of the body firing, straighten out. And now, palms going to turn behind you. We're going to bring the shoulder a little bit into extension, and then bending through the elbow, come to reach up behind you. Extending down long, straighten that elbow all the way out. Palm turns forward, come back to the midline. Once that arm gets into the side body, bending just at the elbow. Now you know where we're going. Let's do it one more time. Extending long, moving under tension. Feel that front of the arm firing. Palm turns behind you. Extend into the shoulder a little bit, and then bending through the elbow, coming up through the back body. Straightening down. Coming back so that the arm and shoulder are neutral. Palm turns forward. And then bringing the surfaces of the front of the arms together. Good. Release it. Shake it out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So thumb comes into the middle. Make a fist. Let's start at the top of the range of motion here. So, moving under tension, slowly extend the arm. Coming down. Pushing a little bit back into extension. We're going to rotate the palm behind you. And then bend at the elbow, coming in behind the back. And then slow-mo, straightening down, palm stays facing behind you. And then turning forward, coming all the way back to the midline. And now here, just from the elbow, we bend. Forward surfaces the arm coming together. One more. And slow-mo against tension, stretching long. Come a little bit into extension. Turn the palm to face behind you. Rotate in at the elbow. Coming down. Palm turns forward. Good. Back here, and then from here, just from the elbow, that movement coming up. Good. Shake it out. See how you feel. And with that, that concludes a little bit of work through the front of the arm and the elbows today. I hope you have a good rest of your day.